Yo guys, Matt from Upsilon Mining. So here I am with my Jasminers, all 5 of them, but we're just gonna we're gonna take a sample of one here, and we're gonna see what happens right when the DAG file hits 5 gigabytes. Let's see if anything happens at all. So if we go over here to MinerStat and I refresh this screen here, it looks like we are set to hit the 5 gigabyte DAG file at 1:27 p.m. I don't suspect anything is going to happen right away. But my hypothesis is that we will start to see some rejected shares. So this is one of the Jasminers that I have running on here, and we're just going to see with this one, which is actually right now, or hold on, it's saying it's saying it's 0 hash rate. So I don't know if that actually means it's 0 hash rate. Now, let's take a look here at the workers. So Jasminer 03, we were at 378 megahash per second. Oh, okay, wait guys. It looks like maybe we hit the limit. I don't know if it did or if it didn't, but the last share was essentially 12 minutes ago on this Jazz 03. So I'm just gonna keep hitting this and refreshing it. I wanna wait till this MinerStat says it's officially 5 gigabytes in about, so it's 127 right now. This is saying it's going to hit around 127 when this hits the 5 gigabyte. It hasn't hit it yet, but it's getting really, really super close, right? So since it's getting super close, it's really pushing it thin. So I'm not sure if it's actually going to just stop or if it already has. It looks like it might have already stopped because of these 4 Jasminers were significantly high. We were at 540 and above on mega hash per second, and it looks like we are now down to it's dropping. And if I go over to this Jasminer here, we can see that it is going, but there's no accepted or rejected yet, and the hash rate is showing at 0. So I'm gonna let this run for, let's say, 10 minutes over that threshold when it hits 5 gigabytes, and let's see what happens. I'll be right back in a second, guys. Okay guys, so we're about 10 to 15 minutes in. Looks like the hash rate is simply dropping across the Jasminer. So we were at like 300 before. Now it's down to 130, 189. I'm going to let it go for the half hour because I'm curious what it's going to do after. It usually takes about a half hour to get everything, load DAG files, the DAG file up and everything for Ethereum before it actually starts reporting hash. But like we said, the DAG file supposedly is above 5 gigabytes now. But let's do a refresh on this and see. It's still saying it's at 4.992, so I'm not sure exactly why it's not a 5 yet. Maybe it's cutting it so close that there's just literally not enough RAM basically to load that DAG. But it did look like they all almost restarted, reloading from the beginning and going back up again. But yeah, the hash rate is dropping over here, guys. I'm going to let it go for another 15-20 minutes and see what happens. Just so you guys know what happens if what actually happened with all these devices as they crossed over the 5 gigabyte threshold. Okay guys, so technically I don't think we are at 5 gigabytes yet. I've been watching this kind of slowly. It's still saying it's at under 5. We're at 4.992, but for some reason the miners all restarted and started submitting shares again. So if you take a look at this miner, it finally started submitting shares, and it's actually accepting the shares on 2 miners. We're actually 7 accepted, 0 rejected, and it's technically past the time frame when it's supposed to be 5 gigabytes. We're looking at a 433.21 mega hash per second, it looks like. And over here on the pool itself, for Jazz 003, we did get a share. Let's see, let me refresh that here. It's continuing the drop. We're at 14 mega hash per second, but I'm gonna let it submit more shares, and I'll be back and see if it made any difference in a few minutes. Okay, it looks like the hash rate is actually going up now, guys. This is really interesting. So this Jasminer here, for example, I haven't touched anything. We're still mining to the Ethereum pool, saying it's 550, and it's accepted 35 shares so far, and that 14 is now increasing back up to 77. So we're going up in hash right now. So it's really weird. It's like they all shut down at the same time almost. It's really weird. And they now started ramping back up again, but still on Ethereum. So Ethereum Classic, I haven't switched them over yet too, because this is kind of an experiment. but it looks like it is still. So we are technically at 5 gigabytes right now. So 5 gigabytes is right on. It's right on the line of how much memory these things have. So can it actually mine Ethereum while it's on 5 gigabytes? Maybe it has to pass 5 gigabytes just a little bit for it to stop. So I'm going to let this continue mining for a couple hours and see if they all crash again. And then we'll kind of know what happens if you just kind of don't touch your Jasminers and let them continue mining on the Ethereum pool. I'm expecting to see a bunch of rejects here, but I haven't seen any yet. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, so it's been over an hour since the DAG size said it was hitting 5 gigabytes. And I'm still mining to the Ethereum pool on my 5 Jasminers. If you take a look here, we have 5 Jasminers, pretty much almost all above 500 megahash except this Jazz 0051. And we're still submitting shares to the pool, and our hash rate is still up on it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep mining, I guess, until something breaks and stops working. I just want to push it to the end and see how far I can go. I guess that's a euphemism for life. Always push it, guys. How far can you push it before getting in shit? Anyways, guys, so I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and I'll be back in a couple hours to see where we are then. Okay, guys, so I had a shower. Obviously, my shirt changed color. So it's been like hours and hours, like 4 hours since this DAG file size supposedly happened. So we're literally at, what, we're at 5 right now? Is that what it is? I just put 4 there and hit 5. It's me 5. Yeah, we're 5 gigabytes. And I'm still chugging along on the Jasminers. The Jasminers are still chugging along. If you take a look here at the hash rate drop, though, but this is pretty fishy how it dropped at 115, which is right when it hit around 5 gigabytes, and then it went down, and then they all slowly came back online, and they're almost back to how they were. So I'm gonna let this run maybe like overnight, and then I guess we'll talk in the morning to see kind of what happened. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, so it's been almost a whole day. It's 9:12 a.m. on the following day after the DAG size limit hit. So let's refresh the DAG size. Let's see what we're still at 5 gigabytes on the dot, and we are still pulling full hash rate on all 5 Jasminers. So 530, 560, 513, 586, 540. So we're still full hash rate on the Jasminer. So that doom and gloom day of ending the mining on the Jasminers isn't true. I think what's going to happen is this DAG size will have to reach a threshold beyond the 5 gigabyte limit. So I'm going to let it run a couple more hours today, and then I'm going to call it quits with this video, and I'll do a follow-up video to see when it actually went offline. I'm assuming it'll happen within maybe 500 megabytes of this at least. I'm not sure if the Jasminer has some extra, like if I take a look here at the logs, maybe there's some extra information in the logs here, but I can't really see anything in here which would say anything about the memory that it has right now. If I look at this, like even just to go to the status here, there's nothing here. Just 0 rejected shares so far. Yeah, so I'm not seeing much in here, guys, that would really kind of give me an information about the about the memory being exhausted. Like if you look here when it was first fired up, it doesn't really show anything about memory here. I don't know if I do a search for memory policy. What is this? Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. So let's see here. So 5,000. Let's just get this out of the way. 524,288K available. Is that like the amount left? Let's just search for that. I'm not sure if that's just referring to just like the system memory to run the device, or that's the memory that's used when you load in the DAG. Let's do a search for DAG. Nothing with DAG. But I do know that's 500 megabytes. Maybe we still have some extra memory that it's taking advantage of. It could be up to 500 megabytes. So this thing could continue mining for quite some time. We'll see. I guess we'll see. It's kind of up in the air at this point. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave the video short at this point and cut it there and say, yeah, my Jasminers, all 5 of them are still running. I didn't run for the hills and switch to Ethereum Classic. I left it on and it's still hashing away. So maybe I'll be able to hash until the merge. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
And